Michael, hello.
Hello, Andre.
Today, I think we need to talk about something that we've been talking a lot about behind the cameras, talking between each other in the workflow with people we work with, we do business together. And important part that it's more about your business, your uh, profession specialty is the lifestyle diseases.
Yes.
So the way I want to start this important conversation, not only for myself or people around us, but I believe it's important for many people around the world, and to just explain what do you understand, what do you mean by saying lifestyle diseases?
Lifestyle diseases is like the way we are living now in this time and maybe 10 years back actually starts people getting sicker and sicker. We know more and more, and we can cure more and more people, like uh, cure them, like we can put them on medicine and they actually can work a little bit. But lifestyle disease is the way we live now. It's like we create our own disease because we are a little bit lazier. We eat more shit things and we don't move that much. And, we work lots and we don't like get it so much like sun and like natural life as we are born to be. So we start, the way we live creates sickness, and that's like lifestyle sickness, like lifestyle disease.
So we get too comfortable,
We get too comfortable, easiest way. Yeah, we get too comfortable.
right? So there are like things that are inevitable. We cannot avoid the technology and everything, but I think the main idea of today's conversation is as well is to try and track easy hacks for people to be more cautious about their lifestyle, their way of living, eating, working out, communicating, and so on. So uh, tell a little bit about um, your experience with people who, because you work with a lot of people who have these kind of lifestyle diseases,
Yes.
and what is the pattern you see in those people? And later I will ask about yourself as well.
Yeah. It's like, this lifestyle, especially in West country, West world, but it's coming more. People that I work with, they are very obese, and the thing who has created them is like, all the easy things, like if you, yeah, the easy things. It's easy to get shit food. It's easy and it's cheap and it's like everything is easy. And we choose that kind of lifestyle because we are stressed. Lots of people is like, I have to work. When I grew up, my mom doesn't work. My father was working. My mom, we could afford that she's taking care of with the kids a little bit. Today you cannot afford it. You have to be two people working. Lots of the middle class like have to have two people working. You don't have time for the kids. You give them like fast food very thing without nutrition and everything. And that thing is like when I work with all my people, they get stuck in that life. And when you don't eat like healthy food, and you don't have to be extreme about it, just a little bit thing. But when you like eating shit, you don't move, you don't like going out to nature a bit, living in a big city or something. Actually, your brain begins to get slower and slower. And it's so easy to be stuck in that one. And then you go to like hospital and they will put you on medicine, who helps you a little bit. But then you get like in my age, like over 50 years old, then you actually have to understand the medicine will not, it's only helping a little bit.
It's a short-term solution.
It's a short-term solution. And all these things is happening because the society today, we go for the symptoms. We don't check out the reasons. Right. Because it's much easier to put one on pills than actually help them.
Very, 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 very important part. And that's like uh, that's the way you were approaching these lifestyle diseases. The whole lifestyle thing is a holistic way.
Yes.
And like, so you, I'm not saying you don't believe in medicine, of course not. We all need the technology.
Yes. Yes,
But
of
yeah,
course.
I tell us a little bit more how you understand the holistic way of uh, approaching these kinds of problems.
Yeah, you know, actually, all the technology and everything, and all the medicine we have, you know, thank God for penicillin. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that one. If you need it, you should take it, of course. But it's lots of lifestyle diseases or so that we have that you can avoid the medicine. If you think about it a little bit. So when I say holistic, we have to go back in time a little bit. Actually, start, you know, eating. When I get an apple when I was little, 2 days I put it on the table, and then it was rotten.
Right.
Today I buy an apple in Sweden, and I put it on the table. 6 months later, it's the same.
Even better.
Even better, yeah, you know. So, you know, that's like shit. So we have to go back in time a little bit, like start actually take care of ourselves much more. And you know, everybody like these super cool personal trainers, you know, we have to train like this, and they have like 8 on the thumb, 8 abs instead of like 4 or 5. And then we compare to them. But they are actually living that life, and it's 1% of the people who look like that.
Right, right.
Right. And yeah, and it's marketing. And they push people to, oh, you cannot do this and do this. Keep it simple. Because the only thing the human body needs, that you actually take care a little bit, go for a walk, play some paddle, go to the gym, or do whatever you think. But just move. Just move a little bit, like 30 minutes. Then the most important is how we eat. And nobody wants to live on a diet for the rest of their life, like soup diet, you know. And you don't need to. You just have to think, take away a little bit of sugar. Actually, white sugar, you can take it away a little bit. You don't have to take it away at all of it, but a little bit. And then actually, like, eat often, like 5 times a day. And when I said that, you don't have to count. You don't have to but take like vegetables, like protein, like meat, fish, or something, and even fat. So you just mix it.
Try to balance it.
Yeah, and don't eat so much processed food. Try to avoid that as much as you can. And
So let me stop you here, because, well, many people, but there are some people, they don't understand what is processed food is.
yeah, no.
So they go to a market and they see, I don't know, a sausage, looks like meat. Okay, they don't like. Many people don't think about the food origin, how it's being produced.
No.
So try to elaborate a little bit on like processed food.
Yeah, think like this. All quick food,
Right.
and all food who's, you know, I can take another example. You go to one of the world's most famous burger place, and you buy a burger. You buy a cheeseburger there, with the bread and everything. You know, they take away, because it's going to be, they made it so they can make it quick, and they can have it for a long time, the bread and everything and all the meats. So they take all the good nutrition out, put some bad things in, just to keep it like good.
Look good.
Look good and everything. So, and that's one thing. Like, if you eat a burger on this place, also I had a story about it. I left it under my kid left it under the seat in the car, and I was not even noted this. Like 6 months later, I found it under the seat in the car, and take it out, and I open it up. It looks the same as we bought it, you know. And then I'm thinking, what's in this one? and that we eat it. But like some of the fishes, I'm from Sweden, northern country. We eat a lot of like fish. Salmon, yeah. And, they take away some of the very good oils because the fish doesn't rotten so fast. Then they actually can place it in boxes and ship it all over the world. But they have taken out this shit, not this shit, they're taking out this
Good shit.
Yeah, the good shit, taking out and put some other thing in to keep it, to make more money on it easily.
Right.
And that's processed. And we have it in meat, we have it in vegetables, even in potato. In my country, where I come from, we cannot grow like orange.
Sure.
So we import orange. And when they pack it, it's like green and this big. And then they put it in the boats, the ships, and they put some gas into it. So they don't get like here, when the sun hits the orange, it get yellow.
Yeah.
Here's the one we bought is on gas. And they put something in, so I can have orange at home for 3 months, and it stays exactly the same. That's like processed.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And because, like, as you said in the beginning, like over the last 10 years, it became like a bigger problem.
Yes.
Well, probably because we know more today as well. We know more. We move less. We know more, and we have more technologies that like take away a lot of pressure off us, and people. The way it also comes to people you're surrounded with. That people are thinking more and more about this problem. It start to give the effect of it of last 10, 15, maybe 20 years.
Yes.
And do you see the problem growing?
Yeah, the problem. This problem is growing very, very fast just now, but also some people get more and more taking care of themselves, and so it's like. But the problem is growing. Take example, diabetic type 2. It's a lot of obese people, or a little bit fat, or like that. It's a disease for actually.
This is lifestyle disease.
Yeah, that's actually lifestyle. Type 2, super one. Type 1 you can actually don't cure. You cannot do anything about it, but being healthy. But take type 2. It's the world's most growing sickness in the world just now. And they treat them with insulin. But actually, you can cure that disease for like 2 to 6 to 10 weeks. Start to move a little bit, think a little bit what you eat. You don't have to be on a super diet. So it's not a rocket science to actually fix this. But actually, it's the world's most growing disease. And what come out of it? You get blind. You're going to maybe lose your feet. You get heart disease. You get all these diseases if you don't take care of you. But the thing is also, when this thing is growing, it's getting a worse and worse problem for like a society. Because, as you told, we know everybody, like, we are more educated, we have more technology than ever. It's going very, very fast. How can like 40% of the people in the world be obese? Why is it like that?
And we still have people suffering from hunger.
Yes.
The disbalance.
Yes. But yeah, of course, it's much worse in the Western world. But actually, diabetes type 2 is even in these countries. Because when we help, when the Western world think they help them.
To less developed countries?
Yeah. When they try to help them, what are they giving the children? Sugar.
Because this is the way they can preserve the goods to be transferred to another country.
I see 1 million other possibilities in that one, but they actually give them sugar. It's like It's like, you know, the one of the most selling thing in the West world now is these protein bars. Rather eat the Snickers. It's the same. In these protein bars, it's like palm oil,
Palm oil. Yeah.
palm oil and lots of E stuff and lots of shit. Snickers actually, okay, it's white sugar, but it's real nuts and you know what I mean. It's so all this marketing is like fooling us to go into this thing. I have lots of customers. You know, I work with lots of obese people, and so Mike, I don't know. I eat these training bars. Yeah, how many do you eat? But it's training bars. I eat 5. Okay, it's the 5 training bars you eat a day. It's like 10 meals of you get
Like calories and
yeah, and
sugar.
you don't move.
Right.
So all these things, you know, the commercial for the bad things or like sugar and the fast food, it's, you know, we are actually a little bit like fooled.
Sure.
And we have to go back, as I said. But also like this, you know, like Mexico. You know that Mexico have one of the fatter, the most obese people in the world? And do you know why? Because Coca-Cola is cheaper than water. And, you know, when that's happened, it's going to be lots of problems in the future. Like in Sweden. Do you know that Sweden, we are actually a very developed country. Of course, Sweden also has problems, but everybody go to school. You get supported if you get sick. You don't pay for hospitals that much, but you know it's a good society, very good, and very educated.
Right.
Everybody, by the law, have to go to school for at least 9 years. Why do we have the fattest 4-year-old kids? How could it be? Everybody knows, but you know the speed of the society. I can talk from my point of view, living in Sweden up north, but you know there it's 2 parents, 2 kids. You know they are so stressed and have to work to pay all the bills, of course, and then they come home. Then the kids have their activities, but you know kids are moving all the time and need to move all the time. But here, what's happening? The mother or the father comes home, put like a pan pizza, we call it, like in the microwave. Poof, 1 minute, bam, here.
Quick fix.
Yes, and I have to change, and then we go to your practice. So here's the iPad. So the 2-year-old baby is sitting on the iPad instead of like moving, and then you drive it for soccer training.
So it's
You know,
it's good if they're still going for training.
Oh, absolutely.
But
you know,
it's about the habits. It all breaks down.
yeah, it's all breaks down to the habits, and you have to think a little bit, like these kick bikes. Every kid get a kick bike today. What do you think? You run when you were little.
Yeah, I had no choice.
Yeah, it's the same with me. I go to the bus. Can you drive me, Dad? I cannot show here what he did to me, but it was like
Yeah.
giving the middle finger.
Right.
And you know, then today we buy the kids a kick bike, so they don't even walk to the bus. A little bit like that.
Yes. It's lifestyle it's lifestyle, it's change of habits, but before, because I think I want to discuss actually about the easy hacks for people
Yes.
a bit later, but before that, you mentioned the diabetes type 2,
Yeah.
because this is the problem you're working with
Yes.
people. And the numbers, the stat on the internet says it's 500 million people today in the world have diabetes. 95% of diabetes is type 2.
Yes.
Within 30 years ahead, it's projected to be 1.3 billion people.
Yes.
I mean, we were talking about pandemic and this and that. That's It's just in front of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless you think about it, and really, like, if we collect a room of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, if we ask each of them, everyone, there will be one common thing between all of us. We all want health.
Yes.
Be healthy.
Yeah.
Unless you're an enemy to yourself, that
Yeah,
can be
of
as
course.
well.
Yeah.
But we don't go to extreme. So before I will ask you about the easy hacks we can maybe share with, maybe can be useful to someone, to ourselves as well. Tell about your story, like, because when you say diabetes type 2, it can be cured. People can be skeptic about it as well, because you made that journey yourself.
Yes.
And I'm interested why you got to the point where you actually got obese,
Yeah.
and because then we can actually track everything we spoke before about the habits, about the
Yeah.
technology, and surrounding.
Yeah, I started gonna make. I can tell you like quickly. I was a wild kid, like crazy wild. I get this what they call it today, HDAD. So I was like running around all the time, very active.
Like normal kid before.
Yeah, like
Now it's
yeah,
HDD,
yeah.
whatever.
I was all around like, and I always like to, you know, challenge myself on things. So I was like boom, and running around, and I love to train everything. And then I get a little bit older, and then I meet a girl, and yeah, happy family life and everything. And of course, everybody get a little bit like start to earn a little bit more money and conform. And so I put on some weight, and then you know you're growing in life. You get a bigger house, you get more kids, you get everything. And actually, I work a lot. So I start to work, and then I forgot about myself a little bit. So actually, I go from 85 kilos up to 165.
Doubled almost.
Yeah, actually double it. And on like 15 years. And when I see through myself, when I see on that time, when it was like this, it was like I work and work and I have this pressure. It's from myself. I always want to be like number one. I always want to be good at the things I do. So, then I stopped focused on my health and just, working, eating. And then, I was living a family life with 4 kids, all have activities, and we were running this. And first I have to bring in the money. Then I have to fix for my kids, of course. And it's not was not that much time, so it was like fast food, exactly like, okay, we go there, we go to this burger place and fix that. Next kid, boom, boom. It was like super speeding life, and for me it was. Then I get like, I feel it, I feel it in my body. This is not good, so I get some sickness, like diabetes type 2, and I had like a very bad stomach. I feel my liver and kidney, everything.
So you were diagnosed. This is how you understood you got it, right?
Yeah, but also then, because I was a little bit under 40, and also then I was like, try to live on good memories. Look at this. Have you looked like this?
Right. Psychological
yeah,
thing.
I knew it in my back head. I cannot go on like this. And all this sickness all this disease gets worse and worse. And then also, I remember one thing who was like, fucking, I cannot have it like this. We were on a Tivoli, me and my daughter. She was like 8, 10 years old. We're going to this roller coaster. And a roller coaster, in Sweden, the Tivoli is just like open for 3 months.
Right.
Because otherwise it's shitty weather.
Yeah.
So it's open for 3 months. So it was summertime, and this is like young boys and girls working. So we were going to the roller coaster, and I was sitting there, and I was so fucking fat, so I could not like take the belt around me. So
safety belt.
Yeah, safety belt. So I have to ask this guy, can you please, can you help me? Can you get the thing? And he shouted, you know, it's like 500 people standing in line there. My daughter is sitting here. And he shouted to the guy on the other side, like, we have a fatso here. Can you please put a more belt? He doesn't actually mean it. He was young, and I don't care. So I was just laughing a little bit. Then I turn it. Then I see my daughter's eyes, you know, all wet. She was so embarrassed. And, you know, I did that to her. And she was trying to protect me, like, Daddy, don't be sad. He doesn't mean it. But she was like super sad. And, you know, she doesn't go on any roller coaster anymore that day or anything. And if she goes, she said, Daddy, you can wait here. You don't have to go with me. And you know, that hurt my heart so fucking bad that she was feeling sorry for how I looked and how big I was. And,
So that was the turning point.
Yeah, that was the turning point. And also, like, you know, I have lots of like stories like, but that was one of the turning point. And so I actually I cannot live like this. And I was on all the medication, all of it. And you know, the doctor said to me, okay, and then I was on insulin, and then I said, I hurt a little bit here. Then I get some pills for that. Then I get some pills for that. Then I get some pills for that, and it's stronger and stronger. So actually it ended up like shit. So I said, no, I have to restart everything. So I did that, lost about 80 kilos, and started living the life actually I want. And, you know...
Yeah, when you say you lost 80 kilos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been gaining it for 15 years, and then you say, yeah, I lost it. How did you do that? Like...
No, actually, you know, when you are like so obese that I was, it's hard to walk. I could not even tie my fucking shoes. You know, when I was on a flight, I couldn't eat because of this. So, I always trained, you know, I always been working out with everything, but I was thinking I have to start somewhere. I have to start somewhere. So I forced myself to begin eating breakfast. And, you know, just to start. And then I was like, okay, I take it step by step. Then I also was in this television show called Biggest Loser. But even then, I was thinking like I do this like a quick fix. Because Biggest Loser is a big television show in Sweden and in America. And when I was in it, I was thinking, I do the quick fix. I just take this low-calorie diet. You know, put the powder in water, drink 3 times. I'm going to lose it all. And then the producer in that show said to me, but Michael, aren't you here for a change? I said, no, yeah, of course. But this is a quick fix, but I'm going to win this show. He said, no. Look at you now. You say you're so fucking good on everything, like training and that. Look at yourself. All the things you know take you to this point. So actually I changed my mind like this. So I work with this girl and I start to eat breakfast as a goal. Then I start to walk for maybe first day I walk 300 meters. Then I walk 500. And then you get into it.
Because you start to see the result as well.
Yeah, of course it takes some time. And then I win the show. Of course it was a little bit like competition, but then I actually understand how, you know, you cannot, it's the small change. You ask, we're going to talk about it later, but it's a small change in long term that's the thing who's important. Because if you like every 1st of January, Happy New Year, everybody should start. You go into it like hell, and you have this personal trainer. he or she kicking your ass, yeah, harder, harder, boom, boom, and everything. But and then you lose some weight, and then 6 months later, it's up again.
But it's actually a really funny thing, and you told me before, because when you've been running a chain of gyms
Yes.
in Sweden,
Yeah.
like the peak starts with 1st of January,
Yeah.
but after 3 months it's all empty.
Yes, yes. So, actually, that was when, before I got obese, but I ran some gyms, and we grew on that spot. First of January, we sell lots of cards, like 1 year. We take away all the short terms card. You can only buy 1 year. It was crowded in the gyms. And then in the end of February, back to base again. And all the trainer, the one who trains all around the year, they were there. But that's also, I have had more than 5,000 clients actually, obese in my system that I work with. And, the hardest thing, and it's take the first step. Because I remember when I was so obese, and all the customers that I have, clients that I have talked to, they said, my biggest, how do you say it? The one thing I regret the most, why didn't I start earlier? And it's because you think it's going to be so hard, and it's going to hurt me, and I can never eat an ice cream anymore. I can never drink a glass of wine. But, that's totally wrong, because, we are looking for excuses, but we also know that we have to begin. So the hardest part is also always to get people to start, because they're scared of it. They're really scared of it. And I used to say, if you're out in the dark, in the woods, what should you do? Just give it up like this, or you can see the next step. Just take the next step. The rest will come.
Right.
But if you don't take that step, you will sit down there and die.
Exactly.
So the hardest part is to start, but when you do that, it's nothing about, actually, I don't work like that. It's nothing about working out. It's nothing about going on a super speed diet with lots of things. We start with like small walks.
This we definitely go deeper on the psychology of it, because food and physical is only 1/3.
Yes.
The rest is here. Like that's what you brought. That's what brought you into that statement, like a position for
Yes.
for-
Behavior.
Exactly. So we will do another thing about it. We will talk about it. I want to finish this exact conversation, uh, and I'm sure people who will see it, they'll understand like the first thing you said, maybe like without like meaning it, that it was not you who helped yourself. First, you started, the idea got because your daughter was hurt, and then the producer of the show, she told you that like exactly that's what's happening. And it's very, very rare where we can see the problem, being in the problem ourselves. We need the help from outside.
Yes. Yeah.
So we will talk about the programs you're doing. We'll talk about the clinic, your clinic as well. We'll take another good chunk of it later. Uh, I want to finish this conversation with simple hacks for people. We don't need to be suffering from problem of diabetes type 2, type 1. No, but just to play a small game, just with our heads, like small hacks, maybe 3, 4 different ones, what we can do to actually start feeling the difference.
Yes. Actually, it's very easy. Very easy, without even go to gym or something. Because if you do this one in a long term, it's going to make results. You know, when you go to supermarket, you hunt in this parking spot closest to the entrance.
Right.
Everybody does this. So it's always a little bit crowded in the front of the entrance.
Right.
And so actually you save some time. If you come in, every time you go to supermarket, you come in, take the spot most far away. And then you're going to go like 300-400 more steps to the entrance. Then you go and shop everything. And then you have to carry that one 300 or 400 meters back. And you do this maybe 2 or 3 times a week. In the long term, it's going to make some results. And it's a very easy thing to do. And you actually save some time because everybody's hunting that spot. That's one. So always as far away from the entrance as possible. And next one is never take an elevator.
If there are steps.
Yeah, if there are steps. But, you know, shoes, of course. If it's 1 floor, 2, never. Challenge you 4, 3 or 4. But 1 or 2, never take the steps. Take the elevator.
Right.
And even, you know, in Sweden, it's so funny because we have escalators.
Right.
And now we even have escalator straights. So you don't have to go, actually don't have to go anywhere anymore.
Just like.
Yeah, you just stand on this one. But never take an elevator for for less.
2, 3 floors.
Yes, don't.
That's good.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeah. And then with food or everything, just eat whatever you want, but do it 5 times a day and don't eat anything more. If you want burger, fucking eat a burger. But eat 5 times a day.
As a start.
As a start. Or that can be a hard one though. You maybe need some help with that. But take one more easier. Eat breakfast. Every day eat breakfast. That's easy.
Right.
Every time eat breakfast.
But try to avoid sugars.
Yes, of course. Yes. But eat breakfast because if you don't do that, actually your body doesn't start to work.
Right.
And another very easy thing is as soon as you get up, you know, you get down to the kitchen, you have been to the toilet, and you go, take 2 glasses of water.
Yeah, on an empty stomach.
On empty stomach. Take 2 glasses of water because when you sleep, the body has to get drained.
Dehydrated.
Yeah, so take 2 glasses of water. The system start to work. And actually, if you do this, and then some other things, you don't have to. You're actually in the right position, and you're going to feel the difference after 1 week.
Easy.
Easy.
Doable.
Yeah, doable.
So let's try.
Yeah.
It's, as I said, it's fun, interesting way to simplify life for ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's important for me as well. Doing a lot of hacks for myself as well. Yes. So it's always interesting to know more.
Yeah.
So I hope it was interesting for you today as well to tell your story.
I love to talk about this, and I want to say one thing before we cut. I love to be here, and I do this with my heart because I feel the difference. Actually, I get a new life a little bit, but also I want to think about, because I get lots of you say we don't need medicine or something. That's not true. I love all this going further, and
progress.
Yes, I actually love it. But even though we have all this, first time in history, we get 5 years younger. Since human being.
You mean the death?
Yeah, the death. Since human being, we always get older and older. Since the first human being, you know, in the Stone Age, maybe it was 20,
sure.
Boom, boom. Now, with all medication and everything, we get 5 years less. It's the first time in history. that the average death point, or what do you call
Yeah.
it, we lose 5 years.
Life expectancy. Right?
Yes. And that you can check up on every fact. We get 5 more years less to live.
Okay.
How can it be? Yeah. That's the
Anyways,
question.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.